Hello everybody, welcome to this webinar where we're going to talk about a very important topic, being enterprise agreements and what's in it for you. I'm very happy to do this session, not just on my own, but I'm here with my good friend, Christoph Henrik.
Hi.
Christoph, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the session, and we're going to be talking about enterprise agreements, right?
Yeah, indeed. So very important topic at Cisco for the moment as well.
And why is this such an important topic? Well, we see that looking at our customer top priorities for 2023 and beyond, that it's about operational efficiencies and boosting productivity. We see that it's about focus on technology and driving down the cost. And talking about cost, Christoph.
Yeah, I think that's a topic which consists for every customer for the moment. Everything what is best budget forecasting, cost control, better cost control. I think every customer is looking for it as well. Operational and financial efficiencies is down here for now and for the future as well. So that's the reason why we are talking about enterprise agreements, of course.
And I heard about price increases, and I'm pretty sure you've experienced them yourself as well. Even if you go to the supermarket, you see price increases.
Yeah, every time we go everywhere, all price increases. So that's a little bit where we are as well. So the controlling your budgets or so, that's something where we want to talk about it today.
And we are addressing actually a lot more challenges for our customers with enterprise agreements. Increasing complexity. I don't know about you in the beginning of your career. I started working approximately 25 years ago.
Yeah, same like me. I think we are about the same age, I guess.
It seems like it, yeah. We know each other from the hairdresser, by the way. No, it's when you look at the beginning of my career and let's say late 90s, early 2000s, if you would ask an IT manager about why did you design your network the way it is, why did you put in these IP ranges, why did you have those access control lists over there, they could explain in detail why they have certain settings and components over there. If you ask the same question today to an IT manager, what do they say?
I don't know. Never looked at it anymore and don't want to touch it because it's too complex for touching it.
Don't fix what ain't broken. Yeah. A lot of the IT managers that we see today, they have inherited the network. The network was there when they came there. And that network became bigger and bigger and bigger and more complex. And everything is connected to the internet. Everything is connected to applications. It's all about performance and experience while maintaining security. Complexity all over.
And it's really a lot of information as well. In the past, Cisco networking. Now we don't do only networking. We do everything, and everything is software related. So really the way how we are using software and how we are dealing with it, it's quite important as well. And at our customers, so they are wasting currently a lot of time to have all those renewals, all those administration proposals from partners, ordering licenses. If I don't order it, I don't have any license anymore. And in this time, subscriptions, like Spotify, for example, if you don't pay Spotify, you don't have Spotify. Yeah. Same with a lot of our stuff as well. So I think that's a little bit the reason as well why we are talking about enterprise agreements today.
Good.
Yeah. So what if we could? So that's a little bit my question as well. If I go to customers as well, so what if we could guarantee a price predictability for 3, 5, or even 7 years? Would you be interested? What if we could give you 15% more licenses than you need? You get licenses, but we deliver a little bit on top of it to give you the flexibility. What if we could give you even every year a couple of months of free licenses?
I'm Dutch. Free is a good word, right?
Yeah. So we give a lot of free of those ones. And what if we can optimize your buying experience? I think everything for a Cisco Enterprise Agreement, it's your buying experience. It's a buying program to buy more, to buy efficient, and to have that financial and operational efficiency as well. So that's a little bit the questions I'm posing to customers as well about, okay, are you interested to have that discussion on those operational benefits you could get with an enterprise agreement? Yeah. Steve, maybe would be good to know from you as a leader as well. Okay, what do you think about an enterprise agreement? What is it for you?
Yeah, so like you just mentioned, it's a buying program, okay? And I think we summarized it very easily into it's a mechanism or a platform that is easy to buy, easy to consume, and easy to manage. I would say that's really what an enterprise agreement is all about, and simplifying your life from a negotiations perspective, terms and conditions, not just hundreds or thousands of licenses and expiry dates, everything brought back to one contract with one set of terms and conditions and one expiring date.
Yeah, you studied quite well.
I should do something with this, right?
So what is an enterprise agreement? As a summary, it's a buying program. It helps you organize, purchase, consume, manage Cisco technologies across everything what is software and service related. Quite important, enterprise agreement is software related, where you can attach services on top of it.
I was going to say, you can add services to it, right?
Yeah, you can add the services part on it.
Good. Can I also add in partner services?
No, you can't add partner services, so it's Cisco services, but okay, the partner, they have a lot of things to do on top of it. Right?
Exactly.
They can deliver managed services, they can deliver accelerators, whatever they want to have that really premium experience for the customers as well.
Yeah.
It's not only about break and fix. For a partner, it's on top of everything what is break and fix. So it provides also a premium experience for the customer on that one, on the software and on the services part, if they commit to go for Cisco. That's quite important. They give commitment to us, we give commitment back on financial and operational benefits in that one. So that's for me a little bit where we are with what is an enterprise agreement.
Yeah. And thank you for bringing up this one, because this addresses a big question that I get as well lately. EA 2.0, 3.0, was there a 1.0? We have been in the enterprise agreement business since 2013, but at the beginning it was a really narrowed down part of the portfolio, right? So a lot of our customers and our partners gave feedback on things that they wanted to improve, and they wanted to have more opportunities to add new technologies and add new portfolios to the enterprise agreement. But in EA 2.0, we always had to have this minimum threshold, the minimum 100K total contract value for each individual technology. But as of fiscal year 23, so last year, February 2023, we have EA 3.0 now fully available.
Yeah.
What's the reason why EA 3.0 is so much better?
Yeah, like you said, in the beginning we started with enterprise agreements, and it was only for the big customers. We are a US-based company, so only the big US companies, those were the ones investing in enterprise agreements. So we saw a small take-up of enterprise agreement in the beginning of EAs. With 2.0, we had a slight increase as well, because we had that 100K threshold for each architecture, but still it was for each architecture. Right? So if you would like to have an EA on DNA, you would need a threshold on DNA for data center collaboration or security. Meraki, for example, was totally outside. It was a separate program with Meraki. If we see right now what we have evolved into 3.0, it's one contract. So meaning it's one enterprise agreement, not different architectures anymore, one enterprise agreement, one threshold for the whole enterprise agreement of that $100,000, and we can add suites, portfolios as we want, from the beginning or even when a contract is in place. So currently an EA is, I would say, for every type of customer. If you are a small customer, a big customer, a local customer, an international customer. So we see a large uptake since last year on Enterprise Agreement 3.0. So that's a little bit where we are right now.
Yeah, because feedback that we sometimes get is enterprise agreements are only for larger enterprises or larger public sector customers. But now that we have the 100K total contract value as the minimum threshold, this can be in a 5-year contract, right?
Yeah. I even have, for example, I have a customer, a city, I'm living in Belgium, so a smaller city in Belgium with 45 switches. So 45 switches in a contract of 5 years can be already in an enterprise agreement. So
Great.
We can do it already very small up to large customers. You can start small. We have the flexibility in that contract to start small and to grow big. That's a little bit where we are.
And then really having the flexibility of consumption on one side, at the same time lock in the prices on the other side. So you spoke to me about the Enterprise Agreement 3.0. And tell me what's new, what's innovative about it.
So you see the picture as well of what an enterprise agreement is. Within an enterprise agreement, we don't talk about architectures anymore. In 2.0, we had a different architectures. Now we talk about portfolios. So we have different portfolios. You see networking infrastructure, collaboration, application security, and then the special one, which is services. Why a special one? Because you can't just have an enterprise agreement on services. Services is always linked to the software you buy together with it. So we have, for example, in networking infrastructure, we have different kind of suites. If we take everything what is DNA, we have switching, wireless, SD-WAN, Cisco Spaces. We have full Meraki, which is different as well. Meraki is now fully integrated in that enterprise agreement. We have everything on cloud networking, which was in the past on a data center architecture. Now it's integrated into networking. So you see a lot of different suites in there as well. And you can combine whatever in that enterprise agreement. And you can link it with services. So for example, if you are a customer wanting switching and wireless in your EA, and you want to have that services on hardware and software aligned to that switching, you can do it, but you're not obliged to take wireless, for example. So it's very flexible in the way how you consume or you take your enterprise agreement with software and services on top of it. So if you see the picture, almost every product of Cisco is available in an enterprise agreement. And every tier we have, or tiered license we have, is available in enterprise agreement. If we take DNA or data center networking, we go from essentials towards advantage, and in cloud networking, so data center networking, premier as well. So every tier is available, which was not the case in 2.0.
Yeah.
In 2.0, we only had advantage or up, meaning we limited ourselves into selling enterprise agreements to customers as well. Not only selling, but a lot of customers couldn't benefit of it. So the operational benefit they didn't have because they couldn't step into an enterprise agreement.
Because there's a lot of our customers that the way they designed their network is access distribution core, right?
Indeed. Yeah.
And then they have advantage software in the distribution layer and in the core. But because they had essentials in the access layer, we first had to migrate them to advantage in order to get to an enterprise agreement. But now we can.
So every customer having that access layer in essentials, and even eventually move on to advantage. Could be that they are starting with that one on essentials, but maybe there is a project of moving to software-defined access, and they want to have, for example, advantage everywhere. So that's a little bit the overall benefit as well.
Great. So what you're telling me is an enterprise agreement, it's easy to buy, it's easy to consume, and it's easy to manage. That's really the summary of what it is, right?
Yeah. That's a little bit where we are with it.
So I would like to understand better, how does this look in a real world example? Please talk me through this.
Yeah, so this gives a little bit on a deal which I did with a customer in Belgium as well. So he has a lot of current contracts. So here I have listed up all his existing contracts. You see that different end dates, a lot of different end dates, more than 70 different end dates, meaning they get more than 70 proposals also almost every year from partners, maybe from different partners. Different partners say, okay, Mr. Customer, this is your end date of your wireless essentials, 200 licenses. This is a proposal. You need to order those ones. Otherwise, you don't have those licenses anymore. So you see a lot of administration coming to partners, but for sure to customers as well. So within EA, what do is we take all those subscriptions, we take all those quantities, and we put this into a contract with one start date and for sure one end date. So not having those different types anymore, and we can combine it. So in this case, I combined switching, wireless, routing, Cisco Spaces. Meraki was in there as well. You could say, okay, but Meraki, we already have those code termination or that end date. Why should we do it? No, we'll explain afterwards what is it on the financial benefits you get. But here we have Meraki, we have ICE. So everything what could be possibly entered into an enterprise agreement, we did it for a 5-year contract with one end date. So we had a lot of benefits for that customer as well. For example, financial benefits, okay, the price predictability. Everything what is in there has that fixed pricing. Meaning otherwise, you would have an end date, for example, on routing on the 18th of October 2024. Okay, but if the renewal would come up, the customer would get a proposal from the partner based on the list prices of 2024, of that moment. Within an EA, we are having those fixed prices as well as today during the full contract. Is it 3 years? Is it 5 years? Even 7 years contracts we have. So that's a little bit the price predictability where we are on that one.
I have another question. I'm looking at the end dates here, and I see end dates that are actually in the future, like 2024, 2025. Can we still migrate those contracts into a new enterprise agreement, even though the licenses are not expiring yet?
Yeah. So that's a little bit the goal as well. So if we sign an enterprise agreement, we are looking to customers what are their actual subscriptions, and if we decide on a starting date, for example, 1st of January, we would like to start the EA for 5 years. During that term, we are checking all their active subscriptions. We know what they've paid for. So we give a credit back for those paid licenses. So everything what they paid, they get a credit. So everything what they paid is not lost in an EA, and we are putting everything into one contract as well.
Great. Wow. All right. I'm sold.
But some other benefits as well. If you go a little bit back on this one. Right? So, okay, you have the price predictability. You have the true forward. Right? Don't know if you know a little bit about true forward or you already heard about true up. So Microsoft, for example, they talk about true up. We have a true forward.
So please explain this to me. What's the difference?
Yeah. So true forward means that every year we have an anniversary date of an EA. We have a 5-year contract. We start the 1st of January. So the next true forward date is the 31st of December next year. At that moment, we are checking the consumption of that customer. So that's a little bit the true forward moment. I'll explain it over here as well. So we have one contract end date we decided, and every year we will put a true forward in place, so the anniversary date.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the beginning, we decide how many quantities a customer needs, what is the list price of that moment, minus the discount. We put in this case for 60 months. That's the initial EA which we sign. They can pay prepaid, or we can do it free with Cisco Capital. So a yearly payment as well.
Okay, and this can also be done in local currency, right?
Yeah, indeed. Okay, it's up to the partner as well. Together with the partner, we are putting proposals in place, because EAs, we are always transacting through partners as well.
Great.
So we have the true forward momentums every year. So I will check, okay, what is the overconsumption of a customer? Example 1. They have 10 licenses, spend more, so the list price is fixed because we know them from the beginning, and they entered those switches, for example, or those licenses in month 7. What do? We are only looking at moment of true forward, what is happening.
My Dutch heart is beating faster now again.
I know
free of charge.
I know you're in favor of free of charge, but yeah. And at the moment of true forward, you need to pay them, of course. And you need to pay them until the end of the contract, meaning we calculate it. The first example, those 10 licenses times 48, because that's 48 months left in the contract.
Yeah, because this is the big differentiator with competitors that do a true op, right? They would charge for this red period as well.
Yeah. You pay it at moment of that true up.
Gotcha.
You pay at that moment, but you still pay it as a moment of you used it. In this case, not. So everything what you used before the true forward is free of charge.
All right. Wow.
So okay, there are some limitations where we'll explain maybe in other videos, but there are some limitations on that one. But in this case, free of charge is really over there.
Amazing.
So a couple of months over there. Second example, those 20 licenses, it's maybe the day after the true forward. Switches have been delivered. You can use those licenses. You don't pay them until moment of true forward too. Great. And exactly over there, it will be calculated with the list price from the beginning times 36, because we still have 36 months left in our EA. Wow. So that's the mechanism of having that true forward, of having those fixed prices into play.
All right.
Secondly, customers can also do license generation. For example, a switch needs to be delivered with a license. It's mandatory. So there we don't have a flexibility of entering that license. For example, on an access point, you don't need to buy a license with an access point. You can opt out for the license, and you can generate your license yourself. So you can have that flexibility when you generate that license. In this case, might be that you have 11 months and 30 days free licenses. Could be. And we calculate exactly the same moment through 403 times 24 because that's still left in your contract. So that's the on-demand license generation, which is in a management platform as well. As a customer, you get
one management platform.
One management platform to manage your licenses, to do license migration, license generation. You can see who entered licenses, reporting, everything is in there as well. So
that's
it's much
easy to
easier.
consume and easy to manage.
That's easy to consume, easy to manage in that one. Quite important, last year is free of charge anyway. So if you enter licenses in your EA, you'll never pay it. So that's quite important and impressive. And it's not because you're entering the end date of the EA that will charge you back of the 12 months of licenses you used. No, at that moment we are going into discussion with our customers. Are you moving into a new enterprise agreement, or are you moving back, for example, to our traditional licensing, which we called a la carte, for example?
Gotcha.
Could be. But in many cases, or in most cases, customers are moving into the enterprise agreement.
Yeah, they see the benefits.
It's financial and operational benefits in an EA, so it's a no-brainer to extend it, of course. What I explained on the install base credit, so at the moment, from the start date, we are looking what are the existing subscriptions. We take it back as a credit in your enterprise agreement. So everything what you've paid is not lost on that one.
Great.
Another free topic, Steven, quite important for you.
I'm listening.
Yeah, so you get 15% of free licenses on collaboration and security as well. We call it growth allowance.
So your umbrella, your WebEx.
For example, if you enter umbrella, you have 1,000 licenses of umbrella. You buy them, you get 1,150 licenses. And you never pay those 150. You can use them until the end of the contract. Only if you go over it, for example, to 1,500, we calculate the difference, and you pay 350 licenses with the list price we discussed at the beginning of the contract.
Well, I hope you're going to go to 1,500 because that means that your business is growing and you're successful, right?
Yeah, indeed. And that's the flexibility. You can generate your license at a moment yourself.
Perfect.
So discussed the license management, so the portal you get to manage all those licenses and to see what is your consumption, what is your overconsumption, your underconsumption. Everything is linked to that portal as well.
Great.
So that's a little bit the benefits of that enterprise agreement. Okay. So these list up a little bit the ones I've told you. We have a couple of them, of course. So don't know if you heard about multi-suite discount, multi-solution discount.
You keep getting my attention. Discount, savings. I'm in.
Yeah, I went on a moment to a customer and we explained everything on what is the benefit of an EA. And afterwards, they called my boss. And they asked my boss, where's the catch? Because one of your people came to me and they explained an enterprise agreement. And where's the catch? What did I miss? Because it looks too good as well.
Too good to be true.
Too good to be true. But it's a little bit like this. So you as a customer give a commitment of going in and see with Cisco and that one, and we give a commitment back on the financial and operational benefits. So the buy more, save more is all about if you buy more, we will have better list prices for you as well. So we will lower the list prices on the products you have a commitment with Cisco in that one. Reason as well for us, it's also a hassle. Meaning all those renewals, if we can take it in one contract as well, we have a benefit from Cisco as well. So we have both interest on doing this one as well. So the buy more, save more is if you buy more suites within your enterprise agreement, you can have that one. Value shift, meaning we check what is overconsumed and what is underconsumed. And at the moment of true forward, we are calculating those differences. So it might be that you have an overconsumption of 9,300 switches, but an underconsumption of 9,200. We'll calculate the value of both, so we can shift the value from one other to another.
So you can move one license to another.
It's not really moving, but we are using the value you've paid for one license and we are moving it to another. So the value
Investment protection.
Everything you've paid for an EA within your EA is not lost. Could be, we also have that mechanism which is called license migration, where you migrate a 3850 license towards a 9300 license. Is it possible? Technically, no. But within EA, we take the value which is left for the 3850 and we move that value to an overconsumed 9300 switch.
Wow.
Which is not possible in traditional licenses a la carte. If you decommission a switch and your license or your subscription is still left for 1 year, you lose 1 year of money, which is not the case in enterprise agreements.
Great.
So value shift, I think that's a quite important one on this one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So show me, how does that work? What is this value shift? It's not entirely clear. All right, you have a...
Yes, I have a small, and it's not only, so we have value shift, we call it, within the suite itself. So for example, on switching, every switch, if there are overconsumption, underconsumption, we do the calculation. And that's where we were in the beginning. So for 2.0, for example, we had it within the same suite.
But if I look at this picture here, do I understand well you can move the value of Meraki licenses to DNA and vice versa?
Yeah, so that's quite impressive as well, meaning that it's available in 3.0, meaning that your initial purchase of your EA must consist out of Meraki and DNA at the same moment.
Okay.
Why? Because, for example, you as a customer you may decide, I have Meraki and I have Meraki for all my remote sites, and I have DNA for my main site.
Yeah.
But maybe for my headquarters. So maybe in the future I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Or am I gonna invest more in Meraki or on DNA? Or now with the power of the platform, meaning you could also use Meraki dashboard for Catalyst switches. So it's a little bit the same system in that one. So meaning that if you have an overconsumption on Meraki and, for example, an underconsumption on DNA, we do that value shift as well. Right? So we have value shift on different platforms, which is really the power of the platform as well, which we want to play with software.
And then again, one contract, locking in your pricing, being able to do value shifting and the benefits of true forwarding.
So that's where we are going with enterprise agreements. That's the charm of the platform as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So to conclude, what is the last and certainly not the least one is, okay, you can do spread payments as well, right? Because if we discuss with customers on having that enterprise agreement, okay, you need to take that install base as well. Might be your renewals were planned for next year or the year after. Within EA, okay, we'll take it now for the next 5 years. Right? Even we give you a credit. The budget needs to be there to fulfill it. So with Cisco EAP, you can do that spread payment as well. So having that annual payment over time within
and again, in local currency, which was a big ask from both our customers and our partners. So can you buy in euros or can you buy in Danish krone with EAP? Yes, you can.
Yeah, indeed. So I think these list up the main benefits of an enterprise agreement. With the Cisco people, we can go in detail on every step. And there is much more, of course, of benefits on that one. So maybe we discussed the beginning of EA, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. So a little bit for the people who already have an EA 2.0. What are the differences between
because EA 3.0 is, let's be honest, the best invention since sliced bread. Everyone knows that. But you're on EA 2.0. Why should you consider 3.0? What's the reason to go?
And 2.0 is still there, and for a couple of cornerstone cases, it's still active. But we see the shift towards 3.0 almost 95% of our customers are moving to 3.0 because of that flexibility, different license tiers or whatever. So, but if I compare a little bit 2.0, 3.0, so what is the same as 2.0? That contract end date, the way how we are doing true forward, that license generation, the platform using it, the first 6 months we can't go over the 105%. Customer can always grow in their own pace, but might be that we are doing an early true forward, which is correct, of course. So that's the same. What is the difference or the improvements on that one? We talked about fixed pricing.
Yeah, not to exceed pricing.
It's a not to exceed pricing. And it's a slightly different approach because fixed pricing means it's fixed for the complete term. Not to exceed is, okay, if the prices go down of the normal license, the price of your EA will go down as well.
Wow.
So I'm working 10 years at Cisco, not that I saw a lot of price decreases, but it can happen, of course, because we are entering a new tier model, for example, and the tier you want to order has a slightly price decrease. Could be. We have a lower threshold. Right? We talked about the different architectures.
Yeah, because in the past you needed to make the 100K total contract value, right?
For each architecture.
Exactly. And now we can do 50K plus 50K, making 100K total contract value.
Yeah.
That's
so
what you mean?
You can combine different suites together as long as you have $100,000. We call it in a full commit, so meaning you are committing to Cisco to go enterprise-wide for it, and then you get financial and operational benefits in that one. So we lower the threshold overall for that EA. Once you step in, you can easily add different kind of suites as well. In the past, it wasn't possible. So in the past, it would be you want to enter an enterprise agreement with switching and wireless, and you would like to enter data center networking. I'm sorry, you need to have $100,000 for data center networking itself. Now you can easily enter into an enterprise agreement. So we have different license types, different commit types, we call it, but not going into detail.
And with the Essentials license that we spoke about.
Yeah, that's the reason why we see a large uptake of enterprise agreements on that one.
I see one improvement that I don't see on this slide, but I think it's a very important one as well. With EA 3.0, it's now available through all the partners. It's also available through the two-tier partners.
Yeah, indeed. In the past it was really only the partners with really advantage certification and whatever. Now partners do still need certification to support our customers, of course, but we slightly have different approaches as well. We have our tier 1 partners, they need to have those advantage certifications. Two-tier partners, they can have it. If they don't have it, they are using our distribution model as well. And our distribution people, they have certifications which can be used by the tier 2. So the goal is to have better support for our customers on delivering that experience towards for enterprise agreement. That's a little bit the thing. So those are the differences between 2.0, 3.0 in that.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Now the customer has an enterprise agreement. They have it. Great, congratulations. And they're going to buy something new. How does it work?
So that's always a question I get. So I have an EA and what now? What do I need to buy another switch? What is the way how to consume it or to buy it? So if you buy, for example, a switch, mandatory, there is a license needed. So you need to buy that license. So on the switch, you get a proposal from your partner. It's a regular discount. You have the normal net price. The license needs to be on there, but the license you don't pay it at that moment. So here it's seen as 100% discount, BPA. What is it? It's buying process mechanism. So meaning the partner enters a quote at Cisco. We see that the customer has an enterprise agreement. We give that 100% discount automatically in there. So we deliver the switch. Once the switch is delivered, the license is going into their smart account. Once it's going
because when the customer has an enterprise agreement, they have a smart account that is associated. Good. All right.
And every customer with a subscription with DNA, they need to have a smart account. That's the central piece of our licensing model as well. But we'll enter that license into the smart account. We'll enter it into the EA workspace, which is a platform. So the ease to manage. And then it goes into the true forward. So the yearly true forward, we will have it. We'll notify the partner that there is a true forward. We'll give a proposal to the partner. The partner needs to give a proposal to the customer. So that's the flow, the process flow of having that enterprise agreement.
So I want to understand. So customer is going to buy a new switch, and the new switch has a mandatory license. But they already have an EA in place. So even though they will buy the new switch with the mandatory license, they get 100% discount on the particular license, and the license is available in the smart account. Correct?
Yeah. So for example, if the switch is delivered the day after the True Forward, they get 11 months and 30 days of free licenses on that one. And we will notify them, we will invoice them at moment of True Forward. So this is because there is a mandatory license needed in every switch. We have also examples where you don't need a license attached to the hardware you buy. For example, an access point. An access point, you can buy it with a license, and then it's example one. If you don't buy it, if you don't buy a license, you do DNA opt-out, for example, there is no license included. Might be that the customer is using that access point as a spare part, could be. Or afterwards they say, okay, no, we have 1,000 access point licenses in production, we need to go to 1,100. So they can generate themselves in the portal 100 extra licenses.
In the EA workspace.
In the EA workspace. So that's the access point. We also have, for example, firewalls. You can have the standard firewall, but you can also have the more advanced license. You don't need to buy together with the firewall. You can do it afterwards. So that's the third example. Once you generate a license in your enterprise agreement, exactly the same, it will go into your smart account. It will go into your enterprise agreement, and it will go to True Forward, to the partner, to the customer. And a lot of those questions I get, but I'm an international customer and I'm buying local to local. So I buy my enterprise agreement with one of the partners, which covers worldwide enterprise agreement. But we are in Europe. I also have a department in the US. What do I do? Do I need to also buy that one to this partner? No, it's a quite flexible model as well, meaning you can buy whatever switch or access point or hardware together with a license towards whatever partner, and everything is going to the True Forward in the same way to the partner who signed up for the enterprise agreement. So you have a centralized buying of everything what is software, but you can have a decentralized buying on all the other ones. So that's a little bit the idea of when an EA is in place, how is it going? But here we help our customers as well. Once a customer signs up for an enterprise agreement, we are doing an onboarding session with a team, and we explain how you can generate licenses, how you can do all this kind of stuff in a general way. So amazing. I hope I convinced you. I convinced a lot of customers on that one.
You sold it to me already 20 minutes ago. So with that, to summarize it a little bit and everything that we've learned so far, easy to buy. Having the possibility to predict how much you're going to spend based on your 3 years, 5 years, or even 7 years contract, locking in the prices, having the ability to access the software when you need it, and getting the value and being able to actually shift the value as well, giving you investment protection. Making sure that you consume what you've bought, because you have everything available in your EA workspace, and you can actually see who generated the licenses, when, and that you are actually using what you have invested in. And then when there's new software capabilities, and we all know that sometimes software updates give you very interesting new features, being able to access that and deploy it when you need it, so on demand. That's the easy to consume part. And then lastly, the easy to manage, having one workspace where you see all your licenses, that is everything co-terminated into one end date with one set of terms and conditions, providing you with an overall holistic entitlement management platform.
I think you explained it quite well. What is an EA all about?
Well, I'm actually just listening to you, so you did a great job. So with that, Christoph, I totally understand everything now. I hope our audience does as well. Let's hope.
And if not, they can always ask.
Well, let's do some Q&A now,
okay.
right?
Yeah, cool.
All right, let's open the floor. Questions and answers. Feel free to ask any question. If it's a very easy question, I'll take it. If it's difficult, I'm going to direct it to Christoph.
Yeah, thank you.
We are at the end of our session, and yeah, we're opening up the floor for Q&A. I saw already quite a few good questions coming in the chat. Is there any additional questions that we want to call out right now and address verbally? Please feel free to unmute yourself, use the chat, use the Q&A. You can direct it to Christoph or myself or any of the other panelists. And also would like to inform you that we are sending to you a form, a contact form, if you want to continue the conversation and want to speak to someone from the Cisco account team to help you out. Please use that form to contact us. Opening the floor for questions.
Great, thanks. If a customer has, let's say they've got AP licenses for Essentials,
Yeah.
and during the term they realize, cool, we as the partner, we did a POC and Advantage licenses would be great.
Yes.
What, I come from a Microsoft background, you could do a step-up license. How does it work in the Cisco world? How can I go from an Essentials license to an Advantage license mid-term? I was thinking maybe you can do a value shift, but typically value shift only works in the networking space. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to get an answer on that, please. And secondly, if you do a true forward, does the true forward condition align to the initial contract? So if the initial contract was set up to be annual, will the true forward also be annual, or will it be a once-off payment? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Great questions. For question one, the easy way to get this resorted is getting you a credit for the term of the license and the value of the license that you have, and then getting a new Advantage license in there. So your investment that you did earlier on the Essentials is not gone. You actually get that credited into the Advantage license. Question number two, could you repeat that one again, please? That was.
I think I know what he meant on that one. So if you, for example, you have an enterprise agreement of 5 years and you have annual payment, so you pay every year a fifth of your EA. What happens with True Forward? So True Forward is once a year, and we calculate the overconsumption times the quantity you have times list price. So it's a one invoice. But as a customer, you can decide if you want to take that one invoice as well into capital. So meaning you're paying that one as well yearly afterwards, or if you do it as a one-time invoice. So those are the two possibilities. What we see most is that customers are paying a True Forward in a one-time fee, because True Forward is less big than the initial enterprise agreement, of course. That's a little bit how we see. But with Cisco Capital, for example, you can decide what you take, everything or yearly True Forward payments as well.
Great. Thank you, Christoph.
Okay.
Kasia, could you unmute the next person that raised their hand?
Yeah, hi, Brad Beveridge here.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, just a question about, you sort of said on licenses must come with the switches when they're purchased. That's presumably the base licenses, or is that also the optional sort of like DNA Advantage?
So there's a mandatory attach for the Catalyst switches, and that is including the DNA licenses. Yes. So they are always included. But when you have an EA in place, it is recognized by the system that you have an EA, and you can actually order it without the license.
Yes, and then presumably you can also take devices out of the agreement.
Yes.
Point. Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah. Maybe I take it, Steven, on that
yes.
one. So like Steven said, you need to have a license. So mandatory, you buy a DNA license, system recognize it, and you don't pay it. So it's $0 in that one. We deliver the switch, and we will add the license into your enterprise agreement. So that's the way how is it working. Can you take out licenses from your EA? No, you can't. But we have an option for doing, for example, license migration. License migration means that if you decommission a switch, for example, you do it on hardware level, but you can also migrate an old license, for example, a 3850, into a new 9200 license, for example. And the value which is left of the 3850 we will use for the overconsumed 9200 license. So there is license migration possibilities, and all depends on the suite you have. For example, we have it in DNA and in Meraki, but we don't have that license migration option in ICE, for example. So contact your Cisco account manager and partner as well to discuss which suites you need and what are the options of license migration decommissioning in that one. Hope it clarifies a bit, Barry.
Yes, just for a bit more clarification there. So the actual consumption of the license starts from a date shortly after the delivery, not from the point where it's powered on and starts consuming or using the functionality.
Indeed, so it's delivery. It's the same like if you buy a normal switch a la carte without an enterprise agreement. So once the switch is delivered, we will add that switch in smart account. And we do exactly the same in an enterprise agreement. So we add it to the smart account and we will add it to your enterprise agreement workspace. You can use it, but you don't pay it. You only pay it at the moment of true forward.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome, Barry.
Thank you for your question, Barry. Jeffrey, Kasia, can you unmute Jeffrey again?
Okay, so first of all, Stephen, thank you very much, because it was a really cool presentation. I haven't seen one about enterprise agreements like that. I really liked the concept and the videos with all the different slides in front of it. It was really cool. But my question is more or less about new products. So I had asked a question about DNX. DNX being a rather new concept within Cisco's portfolio. And for me, as being responsible for enterprise agreements within my company, it's kind of difficult for me to understand why Cisco would bring out a new product, but it's not yet available in the EA. For me, it's one contract to go over the entire portfolio as far as licensing is concerned. My question for you is, do you think that anytime soon it's going to possibly go the other way, that as soon as a product is available, a new product, that it will also right away be available in the EA, or is that always going to be a process that lags behind a little bit?
Yeah, so you're preaching to the choir here. This is a challenge that we have raised as well. We see a significant improvement in the time gap between new product introduction and getting it available into a la carte, into an enterprise agreement. Will there be a moment that it will be available at the same time? Yes. Will this already be this fiscal year? I certainly hope so, but I don't think so. We were promised by our business unit that the maximum gap now would be 45 days. So from the moment new product introduction until the moment that it is available into EA 3.0, it will be 45 days. So we see a significant improvement to where it is from the past, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
But
okay,
we are 100% with you.
So I guess, yeah, it's good to know that somebody else has the same pain points. But I think for the most part, for me, it's the concern is when there's a new product and that is directly linked to licensing, that we as a company, for us as a larger global partner, it makes more sense for us to tell the customer, wait until it comes into the EA so we can put it into your enterprise agreement, because we don't want to sell it a la carte and then 15 days later integrate that into the EA. So that's the concern that we have.
I'm with you. And if you have certain situations, please reach out to us directly. We will do our utmost best to help you with the situations. Sometimes we need to do some manual stuff around it. But we do hear your challenge, and we do face it ourselves as well. And we are definitely improving and listening to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Next person to be unmuted, please. Kasia? I see Thomas Pham coming off mute. Thomas.
Yeah, hi, Stephen. First of all, great presentation of EA. I have a question. We have signed last year enterprise agreement. There it wasn't possible to include essentials and advantage in one enterprise agreement. With the new, I learned today that it's possible.
Yes.
What about the conditions which we have inside of that enterprise agreement of last year? We have a 5 years guarantee to buy new DNA licenses with the price of last year. If we now switch over to an Enterprise 3.0, include the stuff from the old one, and to be able to bring in Essentials license into the new Enterprise agreement, what about the conditions of that last Enterprise agreement?
Christoph, can you take it?
Yeah, no problem. So indeed, if we sign new enterprise agreements, it's always based on the list price of today. Right? So if we propose currently right now, we take the list price, we do the calculation of it. So what I see as examples and with current customers, I moved already quite a lot of 2.0 to 3.0s, meaning as we have a lot of different possibilities of combinations and different suites, if we combine for example, a switching EA from Advantage, and we add your essentials on it, and you might have a wireless which was not potentially possible in the past. We could take that one and lower that list price as well. So meaning if we have that multi-suite, we have multi-suite discounts where we give you a lowered list price on it. And by doing those combinations, you might achieve a little bit on the same pricing. But indeed, we don't use, if there was a price increase or price change over the past until now, yeah, we are obliged to take that new price into account as well. But having those discussions with your sales team and partners, yeah, I think that's really crucial to see what are the potential combinations on it to optimize your buying methods, to optimize your financials as well in that one. But if you take only on the switching part, yeah, your price of Advantage might be a little bit higher on that one, but at the end, you fix your pricing for the next 5 years as well in that one. So reach out to your sales team in that case. We have some possibilities on there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for your question. Kasia, could you unmute Farun or Christian? Christian, you're unmuted.
Right, Stephen, just checking you can hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. My question relates to the Enterprise 3.0 and when there are multiple partners involved. So a scenario where a customer has got an Enterprise Agreement 3.0 with partner A in enterprise networking, and that's been going for maybe a year. Partner B now wants to do an EA 3.0 in security. Does the $100,000 barrier still apply to the partner B that's trying to get into the EA? Or can you do a security at $10,000, $20,000 because the customer's already got an existing EA?
So here we can talk about the partial commit and full commit. Because you'll have a full commit in place, you can have the enterprise agreement, and now you can do partial commit on a smaller side of the portfolio. The complication in this case would be indeed to have then also multiple partners. Christoph, do you have some experience on a situation as described?
You can have one partner for each portfolio. So you can have a partner for networking, you can have another partner on security, collaboration, and on data centers. So we have at the end you could have 4 partners. So each partner for each portfolio in that case. We have some exceptions, of course, if it's for public sector or whatever, because we might have RFPs or big contracts, frame contracts. So, but in the end, it's like this. So if you sign a networking enterprise agreement with partner A, you can add security on top of it with another partner, of course. So that's a little bit the case where we see it.
So Christoph, just on that, the full suite commit and the $100,000 barrier, does that apply to the second partner as well?
I didn't experience it yet myself in deals, but when I see it is okay. If a customer signs, because they can open an enterprise agreement with us, they sign one contract, and they are able to expand that one contract with different suites and with different partners as well. So it should be okay to start it with $100,000 with partner A. They have an enterprise agreement. They can extend it with another partner in security. And I even think below with that $100,000. That's something I need to fully check again, and I can come back to you with a clear answer on that one.
Please, thank you. Thanks, Christoph.
Yeah, we'll write it down.
Thank you. Faroon, are you still with us?
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the presentation, Stephen and colleague. I have a question about forwarding. If I buy a license, for example, switch type A, and
Yep.
I'm not going to use switch type A anymore, and I'm going to use switch type B.
Yep.
So I need a new license for switch type B. That's the way it works within Cisco. Is there a schedule on the depreciation of the license that I paid? So I paid $100 for it, and after a year, 5 years at commitment, after 1 year, do I have 20% less, or is there another calculation schedule for that?
Christoph?
So what do we do in an enterprise agreement is we are putting the price per month in our contracts as well. So if we propose an enterprise agreement, it's a price per month, and that's price per month is being used for everything what is true forward and for everything what is value shift or even license migration. So if what you say is I have an old or a switch, I don't use it anymore, and I need to have a new switch. So you buy the switch, you get the license, we are putting that license in your enterprise agreement, so it's going to a true forward. And with those calculations based on the monthly price, we know when you do a license migration, so when you stop the old license, we know how much value is it left, because we know the months until the end of the contract, we know the price per month which is in the contract, and we know how many licenses you add with the times of the months also left in that contract. So that's a little bit, we're shifting the value of the one to the other. Same with license migration. That's all based on the fixed price per month in that contract. So as a customer, you can always ask your partner, okay, give me a table, for example, and that's the best practice as well. So once you sign an enterprise agreement, you should get a table of your licenses bought at your partner level with the monthly cost of that license. Of course, we are giving the price per month towards our partner in dollars. And of course, the partner is giving you the price in your local currency, of course. But once you have that table, you can also budget what you need to pay at moment of true forward. So that's quite easy. You know what's in there, you know the price per month, you know how many months left in your contract. So for budgetary reasons, you can go after it as well. So that's available towards our partners as well.
So this is a linear depreciation, so I understand. Every year it is 1/12 of the value.
Every month, so every time you use a license for a month, it's a month left in your contract, of course. So if you do license migration at a certain moment, we are using that open value for a new license. All depends on the time when you do it.
Okay.
Welcome, Harold.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the questions. We are at the top of the hour. We will stay on the call for you if you want to address more questions. Please use the survey. We would like to hear from you. What is your experience on this webinar? We try to give you something new and fun and entertaining while informative. I hope that worked out. If your question has not been addressed, please make sure that you have that form that we shared with you. We will follow up with you directly and have your question answered. And also use the EA sales team to help you and address your question, or maybe find your Cisco account team to help you. So with that, I want to thank you very much. Our next EA awareness webinar that we are organizing is going to be in November. We will talk about the different steps in an enterprise agreement and which team does what responsibility on those different steps and how does it benefit you as a customer. And we will also have a webinar planned around the services success tracks, which is all about what is the outcome that you want to achieve with a certain solution or a certain software set, and then how do you get to that outcome using the CX success tracks. So we will do a webinar on that one as well. Again, thank you very much for your time, Christoph. It was fun to do this together with you. I want to thank the panelists for your active participation and answering the questions on the chat and the Q&A. And definitely, I want to thank you, our audience, for staying with us and the very active engagement in the questions. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. And yes, the recordings will be shared with you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.